Hey everyone, if you're here, if you're listening to me, whether in this present moment now or in, hold on just one second, I'm hearing a feedback. I'm trying to find it. Welcome everyone. I'm going to try this again. I am here with Louise K. And we're going to spend a few minutes just talking about Louise, about her work, about whatever comes up. And we're going to invite you to the End of Seeking conference. There's a link right there in the description of our conversation. This is a free conference that is taking place September 16th through the 18th. So there's no commitment to just clicking that button and coming and joining us. And I'm feeling a little emotional as I open this up to introduce you to Louise. Louise is someone who's really passionate about supporting people to live a life of presence and unconditional love. And her greatest joy is to sit together in presence and gently hold the space for all emotions, all sensations, and all experiences which arise in this moment in order to support the integration, you can tell I'm reading, of unresolved energies and allow the unfolding of the divine in all who feel the call. And the reason I'm feeling emotional, it's one of the most amazing things about these conferences is that we get the opportunity to meet and spend time with so many beautiful people who are committed to doing this work. And I met Louise at one of these conferences, and her work is now a big part of everything I do. And I feel my vibration rising. I feel a lot of things happening, and it all is occurring in my own personal life because essentially I was asked to do one of these Facebook Lives before the last conference, and that's when I met Louise, and then I was blessed to play admin during her conversation, and saying yes to just sitting in her presence has been a real blessing. Hi, Louise. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. It's really a pleasure to be here with you, Cindy, and hello also to everyone that's joining us live.
So I can read, the description of what you're going to be doing at the end of Seeking conference, but I'm inspired instead to perhaps just ask you to share a few words about what you're planning on doing and why you're planning on doing it, and whatever else you'd like to share with us. And I'm even going to go mute. I'm going to turn my video off for a few minutes so that everyone who's here now can just
maybe
maybe
you can tell them the title.
Sure. It's let's see. Lasting happiness is here and now. Would you like me to read what's written here, or is that enough?
That's enough, yes.
Okay. All right.
So that's
all yours.
Thank you for the introduction, Cindy. That is the title of the talk that I will be giving at the End of Seeking conference. Lasting happiness is here now. And that's really what this teaching boils down to, in a nutshell, is to live here and now in the present moment. And it sounds so simple. It sounds so easy. And it is. It is, in a way. What it requires is to stop and really be fully present here now with all your attention. So often when that stopping happens, the first thing that we become aware of is our body breathing. We start to feel the gentle rise and fall of the chest and the abdomen. And already in that moment, we become more connected and more intimate with life, because we're now consciously aware of life flowing through our body. And then, as we deepen, as our attention drops more fully into the present moment, we become aware of sense perceptions, like maybe the sound of the birds that we weren't aware of before, or the sound of the wind rustling in the leaves and the trees. And as we notice these sounds, we also notice that there's a background stillness upon which these sounds are appearing. In fact, upon which all experiences are appearing. So we start to become more conscious of a deeper level of existence. And it's not something tangible that you can point to or hold in your hand or see or hear. It's invisible. You can only sense it by attuning to it, by opening to it, with a subtle shift in the focus of your attention from the forms which are appearing to the formlessness in which they are appearing. Now, most people are seeking happiness in forms, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that. And forms can bring a lot of happiness. It's a very pleasurable experience to eat ice cream, or to fall in love, or to play sports, or watch a movie. We don't need to deny ourselves of the pleasures of life. But if our happiness only comes from forms and experiences, then we are only able to know a temporary, limited kind of happiness, which comes and goes, because that's the nature of human experience and form. It's dualistic, it's up and it's down. It's good and then it's bad. Life goes great, then life falls apart. And most people are stuck in trying to manipulate the forms to make it great all the time so that they can feel good all the time. But this is the delusion. It's not possible. The only way to know lasting happiness is to discover what lies beyond forms and experiences. And that's a different kind of happiness. It's a happiness that brings a deep sense of inner peace and a deep sense of fulfillment that's not dependent on any externalities. So if the form which brings happiness is removed from your life, then your inner peace and joy remains. This is a joy that's not derived from external pleasures. It's a joy that's known from being connected to the source of all life, the divine itself. And the nature of this formless essence of life is unconditional love. That means that it doesn't hold on to anything and say, I need this, and nor does it push anything away or resist. It's a recognition of an openness, a spaciousness, pure being. And what arises simply arises, and what dissolves simply dissolves. So this is actually what is happening all the time in everyone's experience. But most people are experiencing identification with mental interpretations about experiences, identification with an imaginary sense of me, which brings a sense of a separation. So what happens is there's a formlessness, this spacious openness. We can call it pure awareness, limitless, infinite. Is here before any experience arises. It's here during any experience. And it's here after any experience. It never changes, it never goes anywhere. And the experiences come and go and change. So the experience arises, and then most people experience a thought about the experience. So the thought tells a story about it and says either it's good or it's bad. And if it's good, there's a wanting to hold on to it. And if it's bad, there's a wanting to push it away and resist it. And it's this mental interpretation of experiences that prevents access to this deeper happiness. So once we become aware of how the mind is constantly attempting to manipulate externalities and forms and experiences, then we can give up investing attention and energy in that play. And that frees our attention to simply rest as that which is aware, which means being fully present here now. And just noticing what's here. So there's no judgment. Just witnessing what's here.
I was in a space of either coming back on screen or going into the formless for who knows how much time in linear time. So remembering that we were here to invite people into your presentation, I chose to click the button. Let this form show up back on screen. Your presentation, am I right to assume it's what I've witnessed you do? Will it begin with a meditation and some sharing, or is it?
Yes, usually it's a guided meditation and then sharing and then opportunity for people to come up on screen and ask questions or sometimes explore something that feels relevant for them to explore in the moment, connected to their own experience. So everyone that's watching, if this is a subject that's interesting for you, if it speaks to your heart, then I would love to see you there, and I hope that you're able to join us.
And I just there is a link to register for free. You can buy the replays, you can make donations, which helps us support these conferences. We do them twice a year at this point. Louise is one of at least 25 teachers that you will have the ability to spend time with over these 2 or 3 minutes. See, this is what happens when I step into this space. September 16th, 17th, and 18th. Last I checked, that was 3 days.
You're transcending time, Cindy.
I would love to again say, you know, it's such a it's a blessing. There's something amazing about these conferences. I have a new experience with truth every time I say yes to them. Just the ability to meet a teacher such as yourself that I wouldn't have met, or that you wouldn't have met if you're listening, except that you heard something or felt an inner pull and you registered and you came and spent a couple of hours or a weekend with us. We would love to have you. Would also love, if you could, please just hit the share button. You know, wherever you are and listening to this video, if you hit the share button, what you do just in that moment is you allow others, you open up the door to help us invite others into this space, into what you're experiencing right now. So I thank you for that. I'm grateful for that. Is there anything else, Louise, in this moment that you're inspired to share?
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching and this is interesting for you, then you don't even have to wait for the conference to start in order to practice living in this way, living fully present in the moment. And it might be an interesting experiment for you leading up to the conference, just to see how it is to observe the thoughts that appear in your mind and just watch how they're constantly telling a story about experiences. There's a constant narration, and then draw your attention back to just watch that without judgment, and check in every now and again. Am I still present here, aware of the body breathing and aware of that background stillness? And I really would love to see you at the conference. For those of you that don't know, every Sunday I also offer open Zoom meetings. Everyone's welcome, and they're by donation. So you're more than welcome to join this Sunday or any Sunday if you'd like to.
You can find Louise at louisekay.com, which is simple.
.net.
.net. Well, all I do is put in Google search Louise Kay and your website comes right up.
Yeah.
I have attended those open meetings, and it's really an extraordinary space to say yes to.
It is really beautiful to come together with a community who have this shared interest and love for these teachings and for truth, and to explore together. And that's also something that's really special about the conference that you're offering, to really be immersed in these teachings with a community of like-minded people and dedicate 3 whole days to that. There's something really beautiful about it, and I feel very grateful to be a part of that. So thank you for inviting me, Cindy.
And these teachers and the teachings, they're not limited to one tradition. They're not limited to one part of the world. The teachers are coming to us with such different backgrounds and from really all over the world. So yeah, come and check it out. Hit the share button. And thank you so much, Louise, for saying yes and for being here.
Thank you.